Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're heading just south of Bangalore, Karnataka. We're exploring a place many of you probably know for its vibrant wildlife and, of course, the famous Bannerghatta Biological Park.
Right, lush forests, amazing animals.
Yeah,
That's the picture most people have.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you to be spot on. But, like always, there's so much more beneath the surface. So our mission today is to really dig into Bannerghatta's deeper story. We're talking about a rich history, a cultural heritage that goes back centuries.
Mm-hmm.
We want to reveal how this land is just so profoundly connected to the environmental and the spiritual heart of South India.
It's a fascinating link.
It really is. We'll trace its transformation, from these ancient sacred grounds to the modern conservation hub it is today.
Yeah.
It's a journey that, well, it really mirrors Bangalore's own evolution in many ways.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Okay, let's unpack this. So let's paint a picture. Way back, long before the city scrolled out, the forests of Bannerghatta, they weren't just like random woods.
No, not at all.
They were part of this ancient, huge forest belt surrounding the very first settlements in southern Karnataka. A landscape shaped over millennia.
Thousands of years, yeah.
And these forests, they had a dual role, didn't they? They were hunting grounds, yes, vital ones,
Crucial for survival.
but also places people went for spiritual retreat, sacred spaces.
Definitely.
And living in these forests, you had early tribal communities,
Mm-hmm.
groups like the Saliga and the Jenu Kuruba. How did they live? What can their way of life tell us about sustainability, about being truly intertwined with nature?
Well, what's truly fascinating here is how these communities didn't just live there. They were, in a very real sense, part of the forest.
All right.
Their whole existence was woven into nature's rhythm. They practiced sustainable honey gathering. They knew the medicinal plants. It's a blueprint for harmony that's centuries old, way before we started talking about environmentalism.
Right.
So this early history, it really sets the stage. It helps us understand that deep, deep connection between the land and the people.
So it wasn't just about practical survival, finding food and medicine. It sounds like there was a much deeper spiritual layer to it for them. Tell us about Bannerghatta as a spiritual place.
Absolutely. It's been a spiritual beacon for, well, over 1,000 years. Scattered through these forests, you find ancient temples. They're like testaments to just how important this area was religiously.
Okay. And the most famous one, the one that really stands out, is the Champakadama Swami Temple.
Right. That's the one. Dedicated to Lord Vishnu.
And it's built in that classic Dravidian style, the tall gateways, the intricate carving.
Exactly, those gopurams.
Uh-huh.
And it's perched right up on a hill within the forest area. It's believed to date back to the Hoysala period.
Ah, the Hoysalas.
Yeah.
So roughly 10th to 14th century, known for their amazing art and architecture.
Precisely.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
It does, because the presence of this major temple and, other smaller shrines nearby, it clearly shows Bannerghatta was a significant pilgrimage spot.
A destination.
Yeah, and also a place for religious hermits. There are legends, stories suggesting that ancient sages and saints chose these dense forests for meditation. It gave the whole region this sacred aura.
Wow.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this deep spiritual reverence, this feeling that the place was sacred, it actually helped protect the forests, maybe unintentionally, but it was an early form of preservation.
So people respected the land, not just for resources, but for its inherent sanctity.
Exactly.
Honoring it.
That's a powerful idea. Spiritual belief leading to conservation, even informally. But then things changed, didn't they? A different power arrived, the British colonial era. How did they view this ancient sacred place? Their focus was often different.
Well, yeah. The British definitely mapped Bannerghatta, put it in their administrative records.
Yeah.
And the forests were used sometimes for timber.
Resource extraction.
Right. And also game hunting by British officers. So,
Yeah.
yes, definitely a shift in perspective from sacred space to more of a utilitarian resource.
Okay. However, and this is kind of an interesting twist, the colonial government did actually declare some parts of the forest as protected zones. This was back in the late 19th century.
Oh, really? That early?
Now, their reasons were probably different from ours today, likely more about managing timber, controlling hunting, that sort of thing. Not necessarily environmentalism as we think of it.
Sure, more pragmatic.
Exactly. But intentionally or not, this action, it did plant some important seeds. It laid some formal groundwork for the conservation efforts that came much later. It was an official acknowledgement, at least, that the forest had value worth protecting.
That's fascinating. An unexpected origin for protected areas there.
Okay.
Okay, so let's fast forward. India gains independence. And Bangalore. Well, Bangalore's just a boom.
Explode, really?
Yeah, into the huge metropolis we see now. And that rapid urbanization inevitably starts putting immense pressure on these ancient forests right on its doorstep. That classic conflict, right? Development versus nature.
There's a story we see worldwide.
Thankfully, though, some crucial steps were taken. In 1971, conservationists working with the Karnataka Forest Department, they established the Bannerghatta National Park.
A really significant move.
And it wasn't small either. Over 100 square kilometers. The goal was clear. Preserve the incredible biodiversity. We're talking leopards, elephants, sloth bears.
Countless birds, reptiles.
The whole lot.
Yay.
A sanctuary born out of a real need.
And the story didn't end there. In 2002, the park was reorganized, expanded into what we now call the Bannerghatta Biological Park, or BBP.
Okay, the BBP.
And what's really unique about this model is that it's not just a national park in the traditional sense, it's quite innovative. It combines a zoo, a safari park, a butterfly park, and also a really vital rescue center.
So multifaceted.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And what's particularly striking, as you hinted at earlier, is just how close it is to Bangalore. It's one of the very few national parks in India right on the edge of such a massive city. And this raises an important question. You know, how do you manage that? How do you maintain these vital green lungs when they're literally rubbing shoulders with urban sprawl?
It's a huge challenge, absolutely. Which brings us right up to today, to Bannerghatta's current significance. It really is, like you said, a green lung for Bangalore, essential ecologically. But it's also this powerful symbol, isn't it, of that tricky ongoing balance between city growth and preserving nature.
A living example of that tension.
And the biological park itself, the BBP, it's incredibly popular, gets over 1 million visitors a year.
Huge numbers.
So it plays this vital role not just in conserving wildlife, but also in education, teaching people, especially kids, about biodiversity, and of course, promoting responsible ecotourism.
But even with all that success, the challenges are still very real. Constant, actually. There are these ongoing crucial efforts to protect the eco-sensitive zones, the ESZs, around Bannerghatta.
The buffer areas.
Exactly. They're designed to shield the park from real estate encroachment, from pollution. Constant threats when you're next to a growing city.
Right, development pressure.
Absolutely. And this fight, it's not just the government, it's a truly collaborative thing. You have environmental activists, NGOs, all working alongside the government to try and keep this vital forest corridor intact. It's a continuous balancing act, day in, day out.
It really sounds like a testament to sustained collective effort. It takes everyone pulling together. So looking at this whole journey, what does this all mean? Especially for other cities trying to find that harmony with nature.
That's the key question, isn't it?
When you look back, the story of Bannerghatta is just this amazing mix, isn't it? Ancient traditions, that deep religious significance, then the colonial changes, and now these crucial modern conservation efforts.
It covers so much ground, historically and conceptually.
Yeah, from sacred forests where sages walked to this vibrant modern sanctuary for wildlife and almost like a living lab for figuring out how cities and nature can coexist. Bannerghatta's journey, it really does mirror Bangalore's own story. From that historic cultural place to this dynamic, massive city that's still trying to find its balance with the natural world around it.
Well said. And as we think about Bannerghatta's ongoing journey, maybe a final thought to leave folks with is this. What lessons can we really learn from its unique model? Balancing progress and preservation, especially being so close to a major city. You know, how might other urban green spaces, maybe in different parts of the world, draw inspiration from Bannerghatta, from its specific approach, but also from the sheer dedication, that collaborative effort involved in protecting it?
Right.
And maybe, just maybe, ask yourself, what role could you play wherever you are in safeguarding the vital natural heritage in your own community? Something to think about.